Promise that you sing about me forever. Promise that you sing about me forever. Promise that you sing about me forever.
So all you would need to do is go to VieIsme.com, vieisme.com, and that's where you will find everything about Memoirs of a Forgotten Child and also what I've been up to. I do daily blogs, so it would be in the blog section. I also do YouTube videos, so it would be in the YouTube videos. And for the book, you can either go to the book, which details what's inside the book and the reason of it coming into existence. And if you already know all that because you watched all my YouTube videos, then you go to the store tab. And at the store tab is the back cover and the front cover together. And you would just click. The miniature version of the book, and then you would get to the book page. And then you would get to the cart, and all you gotta do is click add cart and proceed from there. This video is going to be the lack of connectedness when it comes to Black people and resources and businesses. Now, this idea came to me in my day-to-day life. If you've been following my blogs, you know that on Saturday nights I blog about my IT experience because I did mention it in videos before. I'm not sure if it was on this channel or my other channel. I talked and said that I was going to do IT classes and give you updates about it. Instead of making videos about it, I blog about it. And I blog about everything. I blog about life, I blog about trauma, I blog about success, happiness, bipolar, whatever. I blog about it. Whatever comes to my dome, I put it on paper because I'm better putting things on paper than I'm actually am at verbalizing them. And they are bomb. So check them out. During my IT classes, I'm like one of the only girls there. Well, not a girl, I'm actually a woman, but I'm the only woman there. It's mostly males and it's all Black, except this one Hispanic Middle Eastern guy. I'm not really sure if he's Hispanic or Middle Eastern, but he's cool, whatever. And the professor is a Black man. And this man has been through a lot of things. I'm talking about he's been in the military, he comes from a foreign country, he does IT, he has businesses, like he has a story of himself. And he mentioned that he started his first business when he was a young blood. He was around like 17, 18, he was still in college. And I was kind of interested in the conversation of entrepreneurship because if you don't know, I am a self-published author. I published my book, an ebook version of Memoirs of a Forgotten Child. And Memoirs of a Forgotten Child is what I put at the beginning of each video on this channel, my other channel, about how you purchase Memoirs of a Forgotten Child. And if you don't know, because it's the first time you've actually watched one of my videos, Memoirs of a Forgotten Child is about trauma. It's about finding yourself through trauma and how trauma shapes a person. This is a first-person account, my experience, on how childhood trauma affected me as a child and how I kind of found myself by climbing through the hurt and the pain to know who I am and to speak my truth. And I talk about multiple subjects. I talk about bullying, I talk about sexual abuse, I talk about low self-esteem, self-hatred. And if you're a person who actually experienced something like that, or you know someone who's experienced it, please share this on, because this is not written from a professor, this is not written from a psychologist, this is written from a first person's experience on how that affects them, and it's totally politically incorrect, no holds bars, so it's definitely something that you will enjoy. So sliding off from that promo, when the professor was talking about his businesses and starting really young, it intrigued me because I'm doing IT because I am kind of nerdy. I do like working with the computer, and every time the computer or anything in the house doesn't really work, I'm the first person to figure it out. If it's the TV, I'm supposed to figure that out. I'm the house technician. If it's the phone, I figure it out because I'm the technician. If it's the computer, I figure it out because I'm the technician. So I might as well just really get certified and really do it and make real good money at it. So I decided to do it. And while he was talking about entrepreneurship, it intrigued me. I was like, do you mind if I get your email and I ask you certain questions because I'm a self-published author and I do want to get my book out there. I do want to promote it, but also I want to, connect with the community because where my IT classes are, it's in the hood and I don't live in the hood. But I don't say that in the sense of I'm above the hood. I would actually like living in the hood, but it's the hood. But I know that a lot of my people, Haitians and just blacks in general, do live in the hood, and I do feel a connectedness to the hood because I am black and I do care about black people. I care about the advancement and the improvement and the empowerment of black people. So I'm never going to look at someone who's in the hood and be like, I'm out the hood, so good luck with that. I'm always going to look at it like, how can we come up together? So he tells me that that's not a problem. Then during our conversations, because if you read my blogs, you often see that we talk about IT. We talk about power supply, CPU, SATA, PATA, everything, motherboard, case, whatever. We talk about them. And we talk about the definition and what's going to be on a CompTIA A+. But we often slide over and we talk about blackness. And if you know me, I can talk about blackness all the time. That is my favorite subject besides healing from trauma is blackness. I love talking about blackness. And he will talk about his experience being in the military as a black man. He'll talk about being Haitian. He'll talk about his struggle to even have the IT open in the hood because a couple of donors would give him money if he took his nonprofit IT classes and brought them to the burbs for the white kids. The black kids, keep them economically and educationally poor. So he's not willing to sell out. And I noticed through my conversations and me being intrigued about business and how he started his own business, because his first business was actually a janitorial business. Then he became a home health aid business, and now he does, just strictly IT work. I noticed that I wasn't the only one intrigued. I noticed that there was at least 2 other people who had their own business, which I'm like, this is perfect because we're all trying to do the IT thing, but we all have our own part-time purposes and goals, as well as jobs that we get paid to do. And last week there was this Nigerian brother who said, he has his own business going on and he does security and whatnot. He's trying to get put on and he's trying to use IT to advance his business plans. This other guy, I call him T-Pain in the blog. He's not T-Pain, but he has the locks and he's kind of chubby and he's dark skinned. So if you don't know me, I give people names all the time. It's just me. I give people nicknames all the time. The T-Pain guy, he has, I'm not really sure, a business. I think he sells things in quantities, large quantities, and that's what he's doing in the shipping business. And this other guy, I'm not really sure what he's into, but he's kind of getting something started too. So I'm like, there's 4 of us in this class who's trying to get things started. Why haven't we exchanged numbers? Why haven't we exchanged resources? Now, the Nigerian brother, he told me, if you want this book to really become a success, because you're talking about trauma, you should really not release it in paper book and try to connect with the universities, try to connect with nonprofits, try to get their interest so they can validate and back you up, which I try to do with my own college, but I think it was one of those things where it was competition. So it's kind of like, Swerve, I was good enough to get these Sally Mae loans, but I wasn't good enough to come up in here and do a lecture. I see you. But I understood where the brother man was coming from, because trauma is not something people want to talk about. Even though I know way too many people who've been through this, it's not something they want to talk about. And it's not something that you could just write a book and someone's like, oh, I'm going to purchase it. Not too many people want to confront their issues. A lot of people want to say, leave it to Jesus or I'm good. And you can see with their life decisions, they're not good. And Jesus ain't fixing it. You should fix it. God helps those who help themselves, and many people don't want to help themselves. They're just waiting for somebody to do it for them. And when it comes to the healing process, it's all about you. You may or may not have support, but it's all about you. So I would want that backing. And he was like, here's these resources, here's these people that you should contact. And I was really appreciative about that. But then I started thinking, not only just for me, but for other people in the class who are thinking about having a business or who are in the process of building up, why haven't we exchanged? And I realized that it's not just us in the IT and us being young and trying to come up in the world. It's just us Blacks in general. Like, we don't really have a network where we can communicate, where we can exchange ideas, where we can give each other resources. Whereas other communities like Chinatown, this Chinatown in Boston, that shit is huge. And it's all Asian all the time. There's no non-Asian store in Chinatown. Like, they got everything that you need. For the cheap, for the reasonable price, to the expensive, they got that. And even outside of Chinatown, there's Asian shops that are in the hood, and they do run things. And I'm like, they have so many resources, they have so many connections, they have so many contacts. Why is we as Blacks don't do it? We have to go through highs and lows and crevices and peepholes and secret codes and all this other stuff just to connect with each other. And we should really make an effort to keep each other's numbers, even if, like, I'm the self-published author. Let's say the Nigerian brother, he wants to do connect calls. He wants to be the person who does connect calling, telecommunications. That's not what I'm into, but why not take his number and stay in contact? Why not take the guy, the T-Pain guy who does sell things in large quantities? Why not contact him? You know, why not be in each other's contacts? It may not mean that you have the same destined. It doesn't mean that you have the same purpose, the same goals, the same business plan, but we should be able to keep our resources together. And that's kind of the reason why I think a lot of Black businesses fail and a lot of Black people don't come up and do the business thing, because you don't know where to start and there's no one really there to guide you. And if you do find a partnership, it's usually someone who is not Black. They have more experiences, they have more resources, and therefore they have a bigger pot in your own business plan, which could be detrimental, because when the pie gets to cutting, they may take a bigger slice. They may take a bigger slice of the pie, but the recipe, or maybe just the thought of making a recipe, was yours. And I don't want this video to be too long. I just felt that I should put it out there. Like, we as Blacks, we need to be more aware of keeping in contact. We need to really be on some building type stuff, because if it comes to clubs, if it comes to shopping, if it comes to like trinkets, we know who to hit up, we know where to go, you know, we will get advice, we will get resources beyond the wazoo. But when it actually comes to building and resources and connecting and whatnot, we don't know where to go. And that just says a lot about our priorities and what matters to us. Like, trinket things come and go. They're by season, they're trendy, and when they're no longer trendy, no one cares about them. Just kind of like natural hair. Right now it's trendy, but 15 years ago, 10 years ago, it's not trendy. And back in the 90s it was trendy, and back in the 80s it was kind of trendy, and back in the 70s and late 60s during the Black Panther era, it was trendy. So there's always up and lows when it comes to trendiness, but Black empowerment should always be something in the forefront, and we should always make sure that we are connected as Black people. If anybody's gonna help you, it's gonna be Black people. I'm not saying Asians won't help you, but Asians have loyalty to Asians. And I'm not saying white people ain't gonna help you, but white people have loyalty to white people. Black people need to have loyalty to Black people. Not because we hate other people, but because we love ourselves so much. We want as much success, as much empowerment, as much upliftment as Asians want for Asians and white wants for white, and so on and so forth. So definitely when I go to class next Saturday, I'll be writing a blog, so check that out. But also, I'm definitely going to be like, look, this is what I'm doing. What are y'all doing? Let's keep in contact. We don't got to chill like that. We don't got to be best friends. We don't even got to follow each other on social media. But just to keep in contact with each other. You know my face, you know my name. Now you know my number, you know my email. And whenever anything's popping up, if I hear any resources that can benefit you, I'll pass it on to you. Any resources that can benefit me, pass it over to me. And, you know, let's help each other out. So, yeah. And who knows, like, one day my book can pop off like that and it's on the bestsellers and people love it, and I need to ship it across countries or ship it to other states in mass quantities. I may have to hit up that T-Pain guy. Who knows? Maybe I need some type of security and I might have to hit up the Nigerian guy. Who knows? But it's always good to have those resources, because you're gonna need them eventually. You'll need it from yourself, and somebody else is gonna need them, and it's great to keep in contact. So that's the end of my video. Hopefully it helps. Leave your comments below. Do you agree with me that Black people, especially Black people who are in business and trying to come up, that we do not do a great job at keeping contacts and making contacts? Do you think it's an envy thing, a jealousy thing, or do you think we just don't know the proper etiquette on how to keep in contact and what's the best way to keep in contact? So leave your comments below. Comment, rate, subscribe, and share. And as always, be blessed and